something new. Take a chance
Yeah,
on
just
something.
all about the human experience. It was really well done.
Yeah. Well,
And
I,
you might recognize a couple of the places that are in it.
oh, nice.
I don't know. It's out in the west area, so
Okay, good to know. All right, so well, I'm I've been like I said. Eventually, I don't know what. It'd be nice to dabble into stuff like that too. But right now, we want to get this motherfucking podcast off. Get it
yeah,
up and running. Get it.
get it doing its thing. I want the podcast shack to be
Household name. Where
right. Like, well, at least people know about it. People that listen to podcasts listen. They know. Hey, if I go here, I have multiple options I can choose from.
yeah, and eventually, like I said, I'm looking forward to producing other podcast shows and maybe YouTube videos.
Right.
I
And I have another idea for a podcast that I would like to get into.
Okay.
I'm going to maybe. Well, I really have really been toying around with the idea of also doing like not necessarily a survival or a prepper, but just kind of something along that line.
Hmm.
Because it's something that I do.
Nice.
I think we all can learn a lot and kind of go from there.
No,
Talk
definitely.
about, learn, teach, you know, explain certain things that people may not know, or explain why, certain things do certain ways,
Well, that's
and maybe push out there some ideas, some of the people that I've learned from, and
yeah.
because one thing I wanted to say was one of the things that I like to do in my free time is a thing called bushcrafting,
Hmm.
where you kind of it's kind of, some people might view it kind of silly, but in a nutshell, you kind of go out into the woods and just kind of learn primitive skills, that we as civilized people have maybe forgotten about,
Or skills
um,
that, in case of an actual zombie apocalypse, or
right. Well, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he was talking about EMP attack, and I
oh
had
yeah,
said
that would
how,
bring us back to the Dark Ages.
yeah, that's one of my worst fears, is something like that happening, because
Yeah, because then people can't listen to our podcast. We'd be in fucking Dark Ages.
yeah, where would they find humor?
Exactly.
Uh, you
What the
know,
fuck?
you've seen people during a hurricane. You've seen the grocery stores and how violent people get. Imagine when that's after 2 or 3 days. Imagine what happens when it's been 100.
Hmm.
So that's just something I've been toying around with. Anyways, uh,
Well,
way
definitely. We'll
back
put
in
it
the day,
together.
way back in the day when I was still a young pup, I was in Boy Scouts, and my Boy Scout leader had turned me on to this book, and by a guy named Morris Kohansky,
Hmm.
and all about bushcrafting, and he had a motto, or a kind of a motto he coined: the more knowledge you have, the less you need to carry around on you.
Hmm. Okay, yeah,
And
because you learn how to use what's available, and
what's around you, right?
what's around you. Yeah.
Uh, there's a guy that he had an engineering job, and he felt he had another calling, and he left it and went up to Canada and started teaching, primitive living and primitive survival skills and whatnot. Anyways, recently, this week, he ended up passing away at 79 years old.
Hmm.
And so that kind of got me thinking, like, well, there's another instructor that's no longer here. Maybe we can use this platform as kind of I'm not saying I know everything, but,
What
maybe
you
we
do
can use
know,
this
pass it on.
yeah, pass it
Yeah.
on, and,
And
and
the cool
maybe
thing
pique
is
somebody
that
else's interest.
I could see that the more you get involved in something like that, I mean, obviously you start researching things and you start learning as you go. Because in all reality, I mean, we never stop learning, or we shouldn't
Right.
stop learning. I mean, and
Yeah, this area, bushcrafting, primitive living, things like that. I know people that have spent their entire lives doing this and living this, and every day they learn something new. So uh, I don't know, maybe preparations, what to do in an emergency, or what foods last longer on your shelf than others, just things like that. Nothing long, nothing hour long, maybe 10, 15 minutes a pop. But that's something I've been kind of toying around with the idea of.
Hey, that's actually not a bad idea. Like you said, 10, 15, kind of like what the powerhouse is, which
Just something small, throw it out there.
Which the powerhouse basically sometimes is just whatever I want to rant about, and usually I update of what we're doing as as a podcast family, what cursory overload, when we're doing this, and
right,
and when rebellion and all the other stuff, and Tales from the Guard Check, which I'd really like to get back to, but well, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah,
I have to be very careful not to endanger anybody's livelihood. So
right, especially where you're at now.
Well, where I'm at, obviously, basically the word podcast became anathema. Thou shalt not mention the word podcast.
Right.
At work, and it's probably for the best.
Is it still like that there?
No, not really. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's a different set of problems now. I mean, it doesn't matter. Drama, for some reason, in this field, it doesn't matter the time or place. You sort things out, things go good for a while, then and
then new ones pop up.
Somebody finds a way to fuck things up, because we're, like I said, it's human nature. We're fucker-uppers. We fuck things up.
That's what we do. Yeah. We fuck it up.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this machine is running perfectly. Let me stick this huge metal dildo right in the cogs.
Let's see Why not? It does, yeah. Well.
Oh. Have you watched NEC?
NEC.
Yeah. Have you watched any episodes of the show SEE with Jason Momoa?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna slap you with somebody's 9 inches of limp dick.
Oh,
you need to be good.
You went in WA with me? Seriously? You're gonna go in WA? I'd have slapped you with 9 inches of limp. Oh, come on.
Somebody else's.
Somebody else's. All I'm saying is, no, I have limited time. Because
well, we gotta get you. We gotta get you on that show.
And right now, I've been. Geez, this sounds horrible, but I've devoted to Lucifer. This could be taken out of context. Somebody records just that part. Pato is a Satanist.
Curse me over those pagan Satan worshippers.
Heathens. I knew it. No, the show Lucifer, I've been basically no-lifing it. It's very interesting. I had no idea how hooked I was going to get on it. And I'll probably...
I got hooked on C big time.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been looking at anything else. And I found out that I guess The Boys' second season is coming up.
Okay, I took your advice and I watched another episode of it, and I'm back. I'm hooked on it now. So I think I'm gonna finish off this season, and hopefully go and watch the second one. Also, my wife and I watched Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Okay, for some reason that's on my to-do list, but right now,
that was so good.
I heard. And
dude, it's like it was so good.
Well, it's because there's not enough time to watch everything. I try, but
right.
I still have to sleep.
Right. Well, sleeping's overrated.
That's what I say. Sleep.
So
anyway,
we watched that, and then I caught up on Bosch. I finally finished Bosch off. The new season of that doesn't start until I think February, and then the new season of Outlander starts in February, and then I don't know. I think C is still going on. I don't think they finished. They might have finished that. That might have been the last episode I watched. Might have been the season finale. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. And then let's see. That's about it. That's all I've been watching. Oh, now I gotta watch The Boys.
Yeah.
I like The Boys though.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked it. If you haven't watched it, do it's on Amazon.
Yeah,
It,
Amazon Prime.
yeah, it's the guy that plays Judge Dredd or Bones in Star Trek, the new movies. He's the that's a pretty gosh that's a pretty good. Series.
That's not him.
Yeah,
What character does he play?
the guy that's after.
Oh! I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I know that guy. Come on, he played an awesome Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's a good show though. Check it out. It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's so awesomely
it's
fucked
so
up.
Fucked up is good.
Yeah, every episode.
Elizabeth Shue is in it.
Yep, I really enjoyed it. What other shows? That's all I've been watching. Netflix kind of went dry on me for a while.
Well, I mean, you've been sucking, I don't know, mouse balls, so
No, the only thing I've been watching on the mouse lately has been Mandalorian, and that's one episode a week.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been. I've been actually sucking on Jeff Bezos' nuts with Amazon lately.
That is disgusting.
Well, I mean,
Hey.
what else? What else do you do? You know?
Well, hey, when
You-
they're putting
you
up
can-
things like The Boys and let's see, Amazon. That's where I watched The Tick, which I had to watch
Right.
that. I watched
And Good Omens.
Good Omens. Yeah. Oh gosh, that I laughed so hard with that fucking series. That was so fucking funny. Have you watched it?
Nope, I haven't watched any of it yet. I was trying to get through several other shows before I started any other new ones.
Well, see that's what I'm doing right now, getting through stuff so that I can.
You can't have that many more episodes of Lucifer left.
Believe it or not, yeah, the season 4 for some reason I can't. I've been watching episodes in episodes because I start watching something pops up, I gotta stop.
Okay.
And, I don't know. I think new season of Fuller House is there, so kids have been monopolizing the TV.
Oh, okay.
So you know how that goes.
No, the only other one we watch, my daughter and I watch it for much different reasons, is SWAT. We watch SWAT. And we also watch, fuck me running, Naked and Afraid
Okay, never heard of that.
on Discovery Channel. It's a survival show. Two people, a man and a woman, they get dropped off in some pretty nasty environments all over the world. You know, they each get one tool to choose from that they get to bring with them, and they're usually given another one. Like they each have a bag, kind of like a satchel, and they each get one item. Usually, somebody brings a knife, and then somebody brings something else, and then they're usually given like a pot or a machete or something. So they only have the 3 items and a map, and then they got to survive 21 days out there.
Okay.
And they're
I can see your
they're-
interest in that.
butt fucking naked.
They're buck naked. Okay, of course. Why not?
Well, I mean, all the parts are blurred out. It's Discovery Channel,
Yeah.
but
just the idea
It's
that
kinda-
you're watching naked people trying to survive out in the wilderness.
yeah, and it's not nearly as awesome as you think it is. Most of them are getting bit by bugs, and they got bites all over them. It's funny,
Also, there's no
and
glamour.
they're usually crying. No, and they're usually crying, and they're usually arguing and fighting, and they usually don't like each other, which is all part of TV,
Yeah, of course. I mean, they like drama. They like shit because that's what sells.
But then there's other times where they get along great, and but yeah. So my daughter really liked that one. So
Never been a big fan of reality TV. I don't know, but
well,
you never know.
unreality,
What?
unreality.
Unreality.
Yeah, Joe Rogan